medical doctor. Medicine has changed a lot over the past 20 years. Now doctors can use sophisticated lab tests to try to understand what's happening with the sick patients. They can use CAT scan and MRI. They can do telemedicine. Here we have a medical robot that allows a doctor to consult, to interview a patient 2,000 kilometers away. And that's very complicated for a country, a big country like your country. But the robots, these machines, do not make the diagnosis. It's only the human doctor who looks at all the facts, all the results of the test, and who can understand this complicated data and say, okay, I know, you have this or you have that, and you can prescribe a course of curation. So, are we preparing our students well for this expert thinking? I'm not so sure. Because when we look at the result of the PISA test, which Indonesia participated in, testing 15 years old, not in terms of how much they have memorized, but are they able to think critically? Do they have good problem-solving skills? And we see, this is a test with a scale of 1 to 6. And 1 or 2 is not good because it means that you have not mastered the basic skills. And look at some of the industrial countries, OECD countries such as Finland or Korea or Hong Kong. Even there, we see that at least 20% of the students do not master the basic skills. And for developing countries such as Colombia, Brazil, or your own country, the news are a bit worrisome because up to 60, 80, even 90% of the students do not go beyond level 2, which means that they are not well prepared for the knowledge economy. Now, how about complex communication? This is the ability to explain complex stories, complex phenomena. The ability to explain to people from other cultures. Are we doing well in training our students? Now, I couldn't find a lot of evidence, so I had to consult our cousins, the dolphins. And here is what they say about our communication skills. Although humans make sounds with their mouths and occasionally look at each other, there is no solid evidence that they actually communicate among themselves. And indeed, if we open the TV at night to watch the news, what do we see? Sad images of war, civil war, crime, violence, which shows that we are not doing a good job preparing our students for peaceful communication. What are some of the new competencies that we need to teach? One of them, increasingly important, is design. A friend of mine interviewed the CEO of Samsung cellular phones, asking him about the engineers or the technicians to understand which people do you like to recruit from which university. And my friend was surprised when the CEO responded, "Oh, I don't want engineers, I don't need technicians, I need people who can design." And indeed, today, when we buy a new cellular phone, do we care about the technical specifications? Not really, they are all the same anyway. What differentiates is the look. So that's why you can buy a Prada phone or a luxury razor with lizard skin, or you can have a Giorgio Armani Samsung mobile. Or those of you who have teenage daughters, you can relate to these fashion forms. And you look at this elegant lady and her matching handbag. Well, actually, it's not a handbag. It's a matching HP laptop. Are you jealous, man, in the audience? Don't worry. You can get a fancy Ferrari laptop. Or you don't like Ferrari? No problem. You can have Lamborghini laptops. Is that better? And please, next time you buy a helicopter for your university, make sure to get the Versace version. And you remember, maybe some of you have this boring-looking Dell computer. Now, even Dell is getting into graphic design and art to make their computers more attractive, to compare with another company whose name I cannot mention here. So it's all about creativity. Are you preparing your students for creativity? What does it mean? They have to learn to invent, to experiment, to think out of the box. Oh, I didn't know it was allowed in my university. To take chances, to break the rules, to make mistakes, and to have fun as they do that. Is that the pedagogy allowed in your university? Now you remember the design that the graph that I showed earlier, that our friends from the US are planning for our future? Well, the beauty of the knowledge economy is that any country can reverse that and say, we are going to do the creative work. You, Indonesia, can decide, we are going to train our people to do creativity, to do creative work. As